Okay. Hey everybody, good morning. Thanks for checking out this video. I am here with Tim Hoffman and Rachel Winter, and we're going to talk about Dos Manos. Dos Manos. Dos Manos.
There it is.
Dos Manos.
Dos.
Wait, you didn't turn it. No, I mean like, because it can go two ways.
Upside down.
Upside down. Two hands.
It's magic. It's magic in here. So, over the past couple years, I've had a lot of people in the coffee world come into my life, and so that was something I always kind of questioned. God, what are you doing with all these coffee people and this mission work, and how can I pull the two of those together somehow? Show me a plan or make sense of it to me. So when I was in El Salvador in June, the idea of Dos Manos came to mind. I came home, I started talking with Tim about coffee and what it looks like to sell coffee and roast coffee, and Tim's really let me help him learn how to roast coffee and do these things. So we started talking more and more about it, and then I talked with Rachel because Rachel is artistically talented, which I am not, so she came up with the really cool logo. So I'm going to kind of let her talk through that, and I'll let Tim talk through the coffee part of it. But the just behind this is this coffee will be sold, and the proceeds from that will go to Emerson's House of Refuge, and they will use that money to continue supporting Daniel's operation, CDMFA, in El Salvador, and then a portion of that will also go to help support me in this new missional journey that I'm taking off on in October. So I'm going to ask Rachel first to kind of talk through the logo, which she designed, and the coffee is called Dos Manos, which is two hands. And if you've talked with Daniel, or you've heard me talk about Daniel, that's kind of his mission as far as the street mission and reaching the community there, is the gospel of two hands. He uses Deuteronomy 10:18, which talks about feeding the soul and feeding the stomach. So that's kind of what he bases his ministry on, is to help the people where they are and just kind of feed them whichever way they need fed. So I'll let Rachel talk through that.
A little demonstration. So I'm going to hold it a little closer so you can see as I'm kind of talking. So talking about Dos Manos with Jason and him and us here, it's like this English to Spanish. So the first thing you'll notice is that you have a Spanish version and then you have an English version. So the logo is kind of interchangeable. The color comes from the El Salvador flag. And then if you look inside the hands, you'll see some illustrations, and the white one is an illustration of like a coffee bean tree, whatever, plant, I don't know. And then if you turn it, the other hand is it's kind of resembles the wound of Jesus in his hand, but also light. So it's the mission or the two hands mission. So it's feeding, temporal things like coffee or whatever, and then the light of the gospel. And we wanted to bring that to life in the logo. And then on the back, if you want to read the back, it just talks about that and like what the proceeds will go to. It gives you contact information for Jason, and then the mention of the coffee mess here. So.
Awesome.
Woo.
Thank you. Yeah. And now I'm going to ask Tim to talk a little bit about the coffee aspect of it, what kind of coffee we'll be using, and where people could pick up one of these fine bags of coffee.
So what I wanted to do for Jason to support him in his mission was use coffees that represent where he's going. So we're going to be focused on Central American coffees. They'll change from time to time, depending on what I have around and what's good in the roastery. And so we'll be roasting and bagging this coffee and having it available in certain spots in town. You'll also be able to order larger bags. We're doing the 200 gram size, 7-ounce bag, about a half a pound, and we're doing a 2-pound bag. And that's going to be something you'll be able to order directly from me or through any of the other outlets where we have it and we'll get that ready. The focus will be just like my focus is at the Coffee Mess on making sure it's fresh and getting it into your hands soon after it's roasted. So it's going to be delicious coffee you'll be familiar with if you've had my stuff. It's exciting to me to be able to support a dear friend who is doing something really hard, doing what I do well, which is coffee.
Awesome. So you'll be able to pick this up at the Coffee Mess, which is inside the little donut factory on side of Darby Road. You'll be able to pick it up at the Public Perk, which is the shop inside the Hilliard Library, where you might come across me between now and October 19th. You'll be able to pick it up at Coffee Connections on Main Street, downtown Hilliard. And you'll be able to pick it up at Coffee Connections Gateway, which is located on the south end of the Ohio State University campus. They'll have the half-pound bags for sure. 2-pound bags, we're going to try to get those into some of the locations, but if that's something you want, I'm going to set up an email. I'll let people know what that is when I get it, and people will be able to coordinate with me as far as ordering special quantities or different kinds of bags. And then Rachel has graciously said that she would kind of handle the logistics end of things here while I'm gone, as far as coordinating with Tim. Hey, I need to pick up 4 2-pound bags for Mrs. So-and-so in Hilliard, or get them to the library and Mrs. So-and-so is going to pick them up. And Tim is going to help coordinate all of the logistics as far as bagging, stamping, labeling, rolling, folding, whatever else we have to do. So thanks guys, I really look forward to seeing this come together. It's been really cool. It was always a kind of a pipe dream, just something I've had in my mind that I really didn't know how it would work out, but God has once again put the right people into my life to make this happen. So I'm excited for it. Keep your eyes out, and we're going to try to roll this out on Labor Day weekend. So what I'm going to do, Rachel doesn't know this, I told Tim earlier, but I'm going to buy the first bag of coffee. The first half-pound bag. Out of this, you'll get at home 4 10-cup pots-ish.
Sure.
Out of it. So I'm going to buy the first bag, and I'm going to have it at the library on the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. And the first person who comes in and tells me, hey, I saw that awesome video that you shot with those 2 people on the internet, will be given bag number 1 of Dos Manos Coffee. So, and it can't be Rachel, and it can't be Tim. So it has to be somebody else. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Thanks for your continued support. And go out and get some Dos Manos, 2 hands. Dos Manos, 2 hands.
How do you do it? Can I do it this way?
You can do it that way. I don't know. I feel like
Dos
Madonna.
Manos.
I don't know.
Look at my arm.
Don't look at that. So, all right, guys. Thank you. Have a good week. Catch you next time.
Bye.